is going on YouTube? So I made a video a week ago about daily driving my 12 valve, or what it's like to daily drive a second-gen 12 valve. Today is going to be 5 things to consider when you buy your first truck. Now, it can be a second gen, it can be a third gen, it can be a Ford, it can be a Duramax, it can be Powerstroke, it can be whatever, it can be gas or diesel. Those don't really matter. It's just 5 things to kind of consider when buying your first truck, because you're looking to get a truck and you don't know what to look for, etc. Right? So, first things first on my list is budget. What is your budget? Are you financing? Are you not financing? And the only reason that I even say this is because you can't buy a truck if you don't have a budget, right? If you don't know how much you're willing to spend, you're not going to be able to buy a truck. So that's the first thing that's most important. So usually when I go to buy a truck that's fairly older, I usually budget myself 15 to 20 grand, kind of depending on the shape of the truck, where it's from. You know, if it's a southern truck, rust-free, you know, I'm willing to spend a little bit more money. If it's a northern truck, has a lot of rust on it, you know, I got to do a lot of rust repairs and body work here and there, blah, blah. You know, I'm going to budget myself less for the initial purchase of the truck. Another thing to consider is, you know, condition. What kind of condition is this truck in? Is it in, you know, is it an older truck and it's got a lot of rust on it, a lot of dents, a lot of scrapes, you know? What kind of shape is the paint in? You know, did somebody have it repainted? You know, all those things I like to consider when, you know, buying my first truck, you know, or buying a truck in general, right? Because I'm not going to buy a truck that's dented it all up and everything like that unless I'm using it for like a farm truck, or, you know, just something to beat up some more. You know, if I'm looking to daily it, I want something that's clean and nice. So, condition of the vehicle, you know, how many miles are on it, you know, how many engine mods has it done and how has it been driven. You know, engine mods aren't necessarily a bad thing, you know, more power is always better, but has it been beat up on a lot? You know, was it used as a race truck, or was it used as a hauling truck? Usually hauling trucks actually are better maintained than any other truck out there, and the reason I say that is because, well, you can't go on a long haul without a truck that's ready to make the long haul, so they're always well maintained, right? So budget, condition, right? Now, make, model, year. The reason I say make, model, year is because, well, what fits in your budget, what's in the right condition that you want. Now, everybody's going to have a different preference on model, make. You know, oh, hey, you know, the early 2004 F-150s with the 5.4 Triton are just garbage, right? Or, you know, if it's got the V10 in it, it's garbage, or whatever. Everybody's going to have their own opinion on everything, and also every single truck has its own problems that you have to go around and solve, right? So make, model, year is very important. You know, I want an older diesel truck. Okay, do I want a second gen 12 valve or 24 valve? Do I want a, you know, 7.3 OBS Powerstroke, or do I want a non-OBS Powerstroke? Do I want like a 7.399 through 03 Powerstroke 7.3? Right, those are all things to kind of consider. Or do I want like a LB7 Duramax, an LBZ, an LLY? You know, what kind of Duramax do I want in general? So those are all things to consider as make, model, year. You know, what year do you want? What kind of model are you looking at? And the year that it was made. And take a broad spectrum of that. Say you find 3 different trucks and there are 3 different models, right? Or 3 different brands, I should say, or even different models, different years. Do those fit into your budget, and are they in the right condition for what you want? That is something, you know, you definitely have to consider, because, you know, I'm not going to buy a Duramax if it's, you know, beat up and has 600,000 miles on it. I'm not going to do that, you know, but everybody's going to have their own ups and downs. So, you know, make, model, year, okay? And then another thing to consider, really, in reality, is the reliability of that truck, okay? So, you know, look up what are common problems, how often do these problems happen, do they happen a lot, do they not happen a lot? You know, really do your research on that specific truck, because you're not going to want to buy something that's got a lot of problems all the time, right? Personally, I'm not going to buy, you know, a 5.4 Triton because, or the V10 Ford that they made in that time year, or that model, because they blow the spark plugs out all the time, because they're a higher compression with an aluminum head. The threads aren't that strong, so they blow out the spark plugs all the time. You're going to have to constantly put in Healy coils and stuff like that. I personally am not going to buy one of those trucks because they're not that thing is getting opinions from other people. That's really important too. You're not going to want to buy something that, you know, is very opinionated. And the reason I say that is because usually a lot of people that are strictly Dodge or strictly Chevy have never owned a Ford or a Dodge or a Chevy or whatever. You know, if they're really dead set on one brand, one model, one make, one year, you know, the odds are they haven't owned any of these other trucks. So don't let somebody who hasn't owned a few of the trucks manipulate you into, oh, this truck's the best truck, you have to buy this truck. You know, it's whatever fits you best, right? So budget, condition, make, model, year, reliability, right? And lastly but not least is, you know, in my opinion, one of the most important things, or not most important, but, you know, one of the best things is, you know, what can I do to the truck? What kind of aftermarket support is there for the truck? Because some vehicles or some engines don't have a whole lot of aftermarket support, right? Because not a lot of people build them because they're just not great engines to be building, or they don't produce a lot of power. So, you know, what aftermarket support is there also? And the reason I say this is important too is because, you know, if you're looking to mod your truck, lift it, level it, put bigger tires on it, make it have more go, you know, you need to be able to pull a house down with it, whatever it may be, you need to have that aftermarket support so you can get the bigger turbo or bigger injectors or headers or a different intake, you know, intake manifold or different spark plugs, different, you know, coil packs, whatever it may be. So, you know, those are the things that I really like to consider when buying a truck is, you know, okay, you know, what's my budget for buying another truck? You know, what's the condition of the truck in? You know, what's the make, model, year of the trucks that I'm looking at? You know, what's the reliability of these trucks? And what can I do to the trucks, you know, for, you know, the fun stuff, right? Because everybody wants to mod their truck. Maybe not everybody, but a majority of people who buy a truck want to do at least, you know, bigger wheels and tires and a leveling kit, or, you know, a lot of people will lower them in the rear, you know, make them level that way, do like a reverse level. So is that even available for your truck? So those are all things that I like to consider when buying a truck. Personally, you know, like when I bought my 12 valve here, alright, first thing I had was I had $18,000 was my budget. I was like, alright, I got 18 grand, that's my budget, that's what I'm gonna use to buy a truck. I'm looking for, you know, a 5.9 or an OBS 7.3, and that was what I was looking for at the time. And then I was like, okay, so there's, you know, make, model, year, and my budget, you know, and with that, you know, I was like, okay, I got my budget, you know, condition of two trucks that I was looking at. So, you know, they both had brand new paint jobs, interiors in pretty decent shape for, you know, those years of trucks. You know, you gotta consider that too, age. You know, you can't be like, oh, it's in bad condition. Well, it's 26 years old. What kind of condition are you expecting it to be in, brand new or not? So, you know, it was budget, it was in decent condition for the year, you know, make, model, year. Okay, I looked up my make, model, year. Okay, cool, these are what I want. Now, reliability, which one's more reliable, the 7.3 or the 5.9 12 valve? Okay, you know, the 5.9 12 valves have a lot of transmission issues. The OBS 7.3s have less transmission issues. You know, they're still there, but they're not nearly as bad. Okay, cool. Now, next thing is what goes out a lot. Well, the H-pop goes out a lot in the 7.3 versus, you know, that doesn't happen a whole lot in the 12 valve. So those are things that, or you don't actually have that in a 12 valve, obviously. So those are all things that I considered. Okay, and I was like, all right, cool. Make, model, year, reliability, budget, etc., condition. All right, now what can I do to the trucks? Okay, well, the 7.3 has a decent aftermarket support, but really caps out at like 500-600 horsepower unless you're willing to dump a ton of money into them. And I was like, all right, I want something that I can build and make pretty fast. You know, it's fun to drive, but at the same time still reliable. So the 12 valve is more into that. You know, I have a lot more aftermarket capabilities with the 12 valve than I do with the 7.3, so I'm gonna go look at the 12 valve. And that's kind of how I determined if I was gonna buy this truck or if I was gonna buy this extended cab 12 valve or an extended cab OBS 7.3. That's how I really kind of looked into it and considered what my options were and everything along those lines. So that's what I went with, was okay, cool, I have more aftermarket support with the 5.9, so that's what I'm gonna get. So those are the 5 things that I really think you should really consider when looking to buy. You know, condition, make, model, years that I'm looking at that are in that condition that I want. You know, reliability, which is doing your research area where you gotta look up which truck's gonna be better reliability wise, which am I gonna have to put less into money maintenance wise, what are the most common problems with each truck, how much do those problems cost usually to fix, and then lastly but not least, aftermarket support. Can I get a bigger turbo for my 7.3? Absolutely. Can I get a bigger turbo for my Duramax, or can I get bigger injectors? Can I get an EGR tune and delete? What are the costs of those, etc.? Is it already deleted? The aftermarket support is huge when it comes into buying your first truck. So those are the 5 things, like I said. Now, if you like this video and want to see more to come, make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below, and go to this merch link right here. I have about 20 different products up right now. Sorry for you Duramax owners, I haven't put anything out yet except for a hat